Hey friends, it's C the Earthborn Primalist, and I want to talk to you today about the power of a morning routine. So many people, when they come to me, they start work with me. I ask them, do they have a morning routine? And the answer most of the time is no, no morning routine. Sometimes, yes, there's a morning routine, and one of the things that happens with that is they explain what they do step by step, and you can almost see their eyes glazing over. And I'll explain why that's a problem shortly. But let's talk about where most people are at with their morning routine. If you haven't done or been subjected to any kind of coaching or inner work before, one of the things that tends to happen is you allow the morning to just lead you along. And what I mean by that is you wake up, your alarm's going off. Now, you set the alarm with good intentions. Maybe you set it far too early based on what your body is currently capable of getting out of bed at. So you set your alarm early with this optimistic idea that I'm going to get up at this hour, I'm going to do some things. And then when it goes off, you're like, oh, and you hit snooze, right? And so you snooze the alarm and you roll over and go back, and you're like, ah, oh, this is nice. You pull the blanket up, alarm goes off again, oh, snooze, ah, alarm goes off, oh, snooze, ah. And this happens several times, right? And then you get to a point where you're like, oh, I've got to get myself out of bed. So you grab your phone, you turn your alarm off, and then the very first thing you do is you open social media and you want to start seeing what everyone else is doing. So you start scrolling social media for a few minutes, you look for your notifications. That's doing a very specific thing, which I'll tell you in a second. Then you check your emails. Anyone emailed me throughout the night? Open your emails, have a look. Junk, 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 subscription, this, that. No emails. Okay, that's also done a very specific thing. Put your phone down, eventually you get up, you go straight to the coffee machine. You press play on the coffee machine, you go and have a shower, you brush your teeth, you come back out, you drink your coffee, and then get dressed and log into work, go to work, or whatever it is that you do throughout the day. Now, the problem with that approach, let's break it down step by step. First and foremost, when you wake up and snooze your alarm, you had a good intention when you set that alarm. You've set a goal for yourself, right? You have established a goal. Now, a goal, it's specifically measurable. So you have this goal of waking up at 6 a.m., right? So you've set your alarm at 6 a.m. Now, you haven't been waking up until like 7:30, but you have set your alarm for 6 a.m. You have this goal of getting out of bed at 6. When your alarm goes off at 6 or 5 minutes to 6, 10 minutes to 6, and you hit snooze and roll over, what you're claiming for yourself is that you cannot achieve the goals that you set. Now, in your mind, you're like, this is a very basic goal. There's nothing to it. All I have to do is get out of bed, right? That's it. That is it. There is nothing more that you have to do to achieve this goal. You just have to get up. You're telling your subconscious mind, and that is the hour of the day where your subconscious is most wide open, impressionable, and programmable when you first wake up. So you are feeding straight into your subconscious mind, I cannot achieve my goals. I cannot achieve the simplest of goals. You might not be saying it, your actions are saying it for you. Right? So that's the first thing. Next thing, when you grab your phone after snoozing half a dozen times and you open social media, you've effectively done two things in that moment. One, you have started comparing yourself to everybody else. Now, they may be at the gym posting a photo of themselves, perfectly made up, perfect hair, lifting weights, and you're like, oh my God, it's like it's 7 a.m. and they're already at the gym and they look perfect, and look at me, and you've got side face and you've got your all disheveled and your hair's all over the place and your breath stinks, and so you're comparing yourself. You're comparing your most candid moment, the moment you first wake up, to somebody else's highlight reel. They may have posted that from 2 days ago in the middle of the day, but because they put it up to go off in the morning, it looks like they're at the gym. Like, you don't know the backstory to that, so you're comparing yourself in a candid moment to someone else's highlight reel that is manufactured or fabricated. And even if they are at the gym, like, comparison, it is the fastest way to you shooting your confidence in the foot, right? So that's what that's done. The next step, checking the emails. What's that doing? How important am I to the world? Spam, 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 junk, subscription that I signed up for last week that I'm not interested in, coach trying to sell me on their program, and ultimately, no one's emailed me anything of any value. I must be irrelevant. This is all going into the subconscious. You're not saying it consciously, but it is being told to your subconscious. Now, your subconscious is super enthusiastic, right? Think of your subconscious as this super hyperactive, crazy enthusiastic friend that agrees with anything it gets told. Anything. So if your actions are saying to your subconscious, I'm irrelevant, your subconscious is like, yeah, we're irrelevant. Cool, we're irrelevant. Let's do this. Totally irrelevant. Right? That's what's happening in your subconscious. So you have a conscious mind that filters that. And that conscious mind stands in the way as a gatekeeper between that stimulus from the outside and that super enthusiastic subconscious. But he's guarding the gateway and he's like, oh, I'm meant to be guarding something. And meanwhile, all of these actions that you've been taking have been slipping through into the subconscious because the gatekeeper is half asleep. He's not doing his job, right? Keep that in mind because that's a powerful time to actually use that sleepy gatekeeper to your advantage. And we'll talk about that shortly. But here in the meantime, right, that's what you've just done to your subconscious mind. You've fed it all of this stuff that has basically set you up to be a total loser, right? So you've been led along by the day so far based on actions that you're choosing to take, right? Next step, you get up, you go and press go on the coffee machine. Oh, I've got no energy. Too hard to start the day without a kick of caffeine. Now, don't get me wrong, I drink coffee. I love coffee. The difference being is I choose to sit down and have a cup of coffee. And if I decide to go out for a run before having my coffee, I can do that. I can race an ultra marathon without having a cup of coffee that day. I can go for the next week without having a coffee, and I'm not going to get a headache from that because caffeine does not rule my life. It doesn't happen every day, and the days that it does happen, it's a choice because I really enjoy the taste of coffee. I love the taste of it. I love drinking it from my wooden carved Cooksa mug, and it's part of my time to give back to me, which is a little ritual I have for myself in the morning. So I incorporate coffee into that. It's not always coffee. Sometimes it's tea. Sometimes it's a nice morning beverage drink that I make as part of my 28-day body reset. This morning beverage drink of lemon, turmeric, and ginger that I brew up, put it into a big glass thing and put it in the fridge. I pour that, I warm it up, and I have that, right? So it's not always coffee, but that's the point. When you, I need my morning coffee, and then on your way to work, if you actually still go to a physical job, you maybe stop at the coffee stand on the way. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, please support your local coffee stands. One of them is my sponsor. But the fact of the matter is, if you are having to do it in order to kickstart the engine, there's a problem there. You're claiming no energy for yourself, right? So here's the thing. First step, set your alarm at a time that is reasonable. If it's currently set for, if you're not waking up and actually getting out of bed until 7:30, set your alarm for 7 o'clock. Give yourself half an hour. Set it for 5 after 7. Give yourself a reasonable little jump, like small steps. If you go for this massive hour and a half, 2 hour leap, you're not going to achieve it unless you have an iron will already. But if you're in this position, you don't have an iron will. That's the problem, right? So create a small, easily obtainable step for your first step. If you're waking up and getting out of bed at 7:30, set your alarm for 7 o'clock. Make a commitment that you're going to be out of bed by 10 after 7, 10 past 7, right? And stick to it, because that alone has claimed within yourself, within your field, that I set goals and I achieve them. Confidence, boom, 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 starts to grow. The tank on the confidence is moving back towards the full, the F. Right? Next thing, if you touch your phone when you first wake up, like, one of the points that you want to be doing is Do something that is serving and nurturing to you, not something that is in comparison or checking your validity in the world. So give yourself a goal of no social media for half an hour when you first wake up. If you want to make it part of your coffee ritual, check your social media while you're having coffee, but set that for like half an hour after you've woken up if the time permits that. Give yourself a period of time where you center yourself. Now, you don't have to do morning meditation, you don't have to do morning yoga. The point of your morning ritual, your morning routine, is that it serves you. What I do is irrelevant to you. What you do is irrelevant to me. We're not here to one up each other with our morning routines. I'm not saying mine's better and yours isn't, or yours is better and mine's not. It only matters to you. Now, here's the most important thing with your morning routine: making sure that if it starts to become a ritual that you've just fallen into a cadence of, you wake up, you do it, do it, do it, on with your day. Wake up, do it, do it, do it, on with your day. And that's what it's become. And it's mindless now. You're no longer present and showing up for it. Then you need to change it, right? You need to sit down. You need to break it out. You need to come up with a new plan. And it might just be one thing that you change, which that one thing completely changes the whole rest of it. Make small changes. Watch how it impacts the whole thing. So if your morning routine is becoming routine and it's no longer serving you, and you've been waking up at 10 after 7, set your alarm for 6:45. That extra time that you're waking up, use it to your advantage. Focus on your breathing. Like, really powerful. When you first wake up, the very first thing you do, sit up. Even better, get out of bed and sit on the floor. Now, it's not meditation. Just sit there, put your hands on your chest, and just breathe. Don't change it. Don't make it deep. Don't make it shallow. Don't do box breathing. Don't do Wim Hof breathing. Just watch your breath. Your breath is your life. So just by watching it, you're in gratitude for your life. 5 minutes. Set a timer. Just observe your breathing. It's a really powerful thing to start your day with. Next step: speak 5 things that you're grateful for. Start your day with gratitude. And then get up and do whatever else it is that you do. That alone is going to change the whole nature of your day. So the point of your morning routine is it's you taking control of your morning. When you own your morning, you own your day. Plain and simple. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Own the morning, own the day. So I want to challenge you to comment below if you've watched this far. Please tell me, what does your morning routine currently include? Does it serve you? And if not, what are you going to change or implement off the back of this? Let's have a conversation about it. I'm here. Use me. Use my resources. I'm really excited to hear what you've got going on, and let's see where we can make it more powerful for you. What does your current morning routine include? Where does it potentially not serve you? And where are you going to make some changes to that? That's your call to action off the back of this. Thanks heaps for watching. If you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button. That helps me, and you're going to get some awesome stuff coming your way. Have a beautiful day wherever you're at, and I'll see you soon.